Hello, Saskia, devotional goddess here. Today I'm coming to speak to you to share a promotion. This month is my birthday month. It'll be my birthday in a couple of days. And I wanted to give back and share. And after this last year, because June 2022 is when I finished my radiation for my breast cancer treatment. And it really has taken this last year of healing and purging and allowing my central nervous system to recalibrate and find its balance again in order for me to be ready to move forwards in a consistent manner. And I now have more energy and stability in my energy, both emotionally, mentally, physically, that I can be of service and serve and be in a stable place within me. Now, of course, there's always a dance and there's always a need to come back to center, to self-care and to keep that balance of give and take. And my journey has really asked me to reinforce that, as you've heard me speak about many a time. But I feel at this point I'm ready to relaunch my business with also a clearer vision of what it is that I bring to the table, what it is that I have to offer my clients. And it really is, as you've heard me speak in other videos, is the mentoring. Helping women 45 and older come to a place of peace and clarity as to where they are in their lives, so that they can move forwards feeling empowered and really feeling that they have the boundaries internally and externally. And that takes practice. That takes some time to untangle from the unit that we've lived in and around for so long, and the unit that we lived in and around from our youth, from our upbringing. And there are so many interlayers and that are weaved in that impact who we are today. And sometimes we need to untangle that weaving in order to become clearer as to who we are, where we are at this point in our lives. Be it a place where we're able to find gratitude for all life experiences that have brought us to this point. Because all those life experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, is what has shaped us and molded us into who we are today. And we want to find that peace within all of that, so that we can feel more empowered and we can turn those times where we were in victimhood and turn it on its head and be able to then say, no, it made me stronger and it made me who I am today. And I'm choosing now not to be in victim, not to be in anger, not to be in rage. That served its purpose. But if you're feeling that I don't want to live from that place anymore, it doesn't resonate with me, I don't want to be an angry person, now is the time. Now is the time for change. I wanted to share what some of the experiences my clients have had in working with me. Now, when I say that, I do want to clarify that it is them, you, the other person, who is always choosing to come and do the work. I am merely a facilitator, someone to hold the space with you, maybe to ask some key questions, share some key observations so that you can broaden your lens and see the situation from another perspective. But it's you, it's my client, it's whomever I'm working with who is actually doing the work. I am not able to wave a magic wand. I am not able to walk the path for you. Just as no one was able to walk my cancer journey, I had to do it. No one could take the chemo for me to heal me. No one could take the herbs for me in order for me to heal. It was the culmination of all my experiences, not just the allopathic medicine, not just the herbal medicine, not just the healing that I did on myself. It was never the one aspect. It was a multitude of aspects that came together to support the healing. And it's not finished. It's never finished. But having peace with that knowledge, when we have another layer to explore, becomes more accessible the more we do the work on ourselves. So, one of my clients, I was speaking and we were discussing something I'd said about pregnancy and postpartum drew her in, and she began to share about her postpartum depression with her first child, and how she felt that her first child lost a certain contact with her because of her postpartum depression, because she wasn't as present as she had wished she had been. And when we went back to that place, to that time, 15 years prior, or 15 years in the past, she came to see just how much love was surrounding her firstborn, and how supported her firstborn was as she was going through her own healing crisis. And she was able to reframe it and able to find peace within that situation that she had not had up to that point. So it was a profound liberation that she ended up having through our session. It was beautiful. I recently had a client of mine, a former student of mine, had reached out and said, would you like to meet for tea? And I met for tea. We met for tea, and he had been in my yoga classes. And he had at some point had heart surgery, heart bypass surgery, because 4 of his heart canals were blocked, 3 or 4. And I was not aware until our tea conversation a couple of weeks ago just how profound and helpful our session was, and how what he had shared and what I shared in response to his share, he said was so enriching and so supportive that over a significant period of time he could go back and reflect upon our conversation and still receive help and support. I was so touched to hear that. I was not aware to what extent our conversation had been so impactful. There was a beautiful share that he had imparted with me. I was really touched. Another client of mine cared for both her parents independently, as the first went through Alzheimer's and nursed her mother and was there for her mother through the years where her mental clarity was declining and ultimately her crossing. And then soon thereafter, the same journey with her father. Now, the guilt that we can feel when one or both of our parents are transitioning, and when their health is declining, when we are already juggling a life, and then the guilt of, did I do enough? I should have done more. I wasn't there for them in the way I wanted to be. I was having my own personal crisis by becoming orphaned from my parents. She was the last remaining family member. It was all on her. Her father had married again. He did have a wife. So there was that collaboration. But the weight that she was carrying in caring for her mother, in caring for her father, in advocating for them, was enormous. And yet, she knew there was another way. And she consistently worked with me, session after session, because she wanted to know how to live in another way and how to shed and release the guilt, the sadness, the regrets, the suffering that she had experienced. And she is thriving, even amidst crisis that she's been recently working with again. But because of all the work that she has did and is doing and has done, she has a greater depth of inner peace within her, a greater depth of strength, because she knows more of who she is, and she's accepting of who she is. This is our birthright, but we've forgotten how to do that. We have not been taught in this lifetime how to do that, but it is in our DNA. It is in our makeup. And our time right now is about remembering who we are in our greatness. And if there's a thirst within you, take advantage of this promotion that I have. All the links are below. It's just for the month of July. My rates will be going up in August. Take advantage. Now, I work with clients for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Once a month. So there will be a commitment of 3 months. You can pay 3 months up front, you can pay monthly, but it will be a lock-in of the 3-month or the 6-month payment plan, because we need that in order to stay committed to the change, the growth, the evolution. We need to hold ourselves accountable for change. So by registering, you'll commit to yourself. You'll commit to your own healing, to your own remembering of who you are. We are all being challenged right now, because this is a time of great change.